Hello, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar titled Loyalty Beyond Points, How to Shift to a Customer-Centric Lifestyle Model to Retain the Modern Traveler. My name is Cecilia Parola. I'm Head of Marketing for Loyalty here at IBS Software, and I will be your moderator for this session. In this webinar, we are going to understand the challenges and the opportunities of the travel industry and how loyalty program can leverage technology, partnership, and data to meet customer expectations, providing tailored and exciting experience. Before we start, I will quickly go through a few housekeeping items. During the session, all participants will be on mute to avoid background noises. Throughout the presentation, our team will be managing the chat functionality. There, you may submit your questions and comments in the questions tabs on the top right of your window. This will be addressed during the Q&A portion of the session. And please note that this session is being recorded. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to our speakers. Our first speaker is Markus Pfaffer, currently Vice President of Loyalty Strategy and comes with over 25 years of experience. He's been with IBS Software for almost 10 years. Hi, Markus.
Hey, Cecilia. Thanks for having me.
Our second speaker is Olivier Cazot, currently Senior Director of Product Management for Loyalty, and comes with over 18 years of industry experience, plus 2 of them with IBS Software. Welcome, Olivier.
Nice to be here, Cecilia, to talk about my favorite loyalty topic.
Great. Now with that, let's start. I would like to start this conversation with you, Markus. Can you please provide us with a picture of what is happening right now in the loyalty space? With travel anticipated not only to recover, but possibly to surpass pre-pandemic levels, what challenges do you see emerging for airlines, hotels, and other travel businesses when it comes to fostering and maintaining customer loyalty? Or better, given the current market, is investing in loyalty still a viable strategy?
Good question, Cecilia. I think we all see that demand has rebound. Planes, hotels are full. So one would argue, why would you need loyalty programs when people come anyhow and pay high fares, drive high yields, and fill the pockets? Well, I think that's exactly the reason why you need to invest into loyalty right now. Just a few pointers. While we see that the outlook for travel is good for this year, we also see quite an increase in capacity coming into the market, primarily in the airline space. On the other hand, you see political instability on various fronts. There is a risk of weakening economies. Inflation in some markets is still a problem, and that can quickly turn the situation into a grim scenario. And that in turn will also require models and ideas to keep or bring back passengers. And there loyalty will play and has to play a role. Second, I think also an observation of learning from the pandemic period. The travel segments have changed. And in order to sustain growth, also in the scenarios that I just mentioned before, the propositions that we put forward will need to adapt. The frequent flying business traveler is not necessarily the target group of our future, of the future anymore, right? We see different segments that have evolved, different segments that fill the properties, that fill the planes, and adaptation towards those will be key and will be a key issue for loyalty programs. Third, we live in a world of instant information and a plethora of options that influence our decision making. Where to go, where to stay, when to fly, what to eat, when to dance, for those that like dancing, can all be answered at a fingertip on a mobile phone, on your computer. Now, the challenge here to master will be, how can a travel brand, an airline, a hospitality company, an OTA, for example, stay on top of the relevant set? how can it maximize the share of wallet and be the trusted partner for the traveler in such a scenario? One way of mastering this is by building a solid engagement platform, commonly known as a loyalty program.
Thank you, Marcus, for providing such a comprehensive analysis of the current state of the industry and confirming the importance of investing in loyalty. Having said that, which are the most important things a travel bank should focus on while building a loyalty programs today?
Well, I think you could argue there's three pillars, right? That you need to build and differentiate. First, data. A solid database, building the foundation to understand the segments, their behaviors, interaction, preferences, will provide the necessary insights to define your proposition, to evolve your proposition, to create the right offer. That's not something new, but still something that requires utmost attention. Second, you need content. And with content, we mean the combined offering of a loyalty program's ecosystem, of the core brand being an airline or a hospitality company, which then often is a mixture of rewards, benefits, statuses. But going further beyond that, an ecosystem that includes all partners that associate themselves either with the program or in an enhanced manner, even with the program's currencies. For example, just recent developments from last year, you saw that airlines like Qatar or Finnair are linking with Avios, the IAG loyalty brand, benefiting from an expanded ecosystem that already was built and is now expanding into different markets. And there's a third pillar, which I believe is the engagement. After all, the way how the engagement with the member is designed will determine the adoption and success of the program. So the engagement layer and the engagement strategy will be essential, particularly in an environment where the target segment may not be the frequent traveler anymore. So it will be key to interact with the customers with the relevant content from that ecosystem to remain in that relevant set of that traveler, and then hopefully yield a positive purchasing decision when that traveler is ready to do this.
Thank you, Marcus. From your detailed breakdown of the essential pillars of successful loyalty programs, this tells us a little bit about the complexity, of modern marketing strategies, where it's evident that technology plays a pivotal role. With that in mind, how do you perceive the role of technology in shaping and enhancing these new loyalty models?
Well, being a member of a tech company, I would say tech is the most important thing on earth. Not. Technology will and should only be the enabler to realize the innovative strategies that are or have been developed. However, this modern technology, of course, can facilitate much more these days than it did in the past, and it is putting less constraints on the business. So the role of technology, I think, has grown, but it is and will only be an enabler in the future. I see three main observations in this context. First, and particularly important also for us as a tech provider, we see that a modern platform, and when we talk about platforms, we talk about SaaS platforms, platforms where software is offered as a service, rely on cloud technology. Now, this is the fundament that provides the scalability and the resilience to the underlying tech layer. It accelerates the time to market and optimizes the cost of operation for the program operators. And with a modern architecture, you can also ensure that the technology advancements that you would like to introduce can be introduced faster, maintaining that technological edge that ensures that whatever you have in your platform is not getting outdated. So cloud is a big part of that, and being ready for cloud and architecting it in a what we call cloud native way is essential to leverage all of these benefits. Second, the digitalization of the business is actually bringing the offer of a loyalty program, the overall offer, you could even say, into the wallet of the customer instantaneously, right? Through mobile phones, and we all have them, smartwatches, etc. The interaction with a program of choice can happen at any, but ideally should happen at the right point in time. So, example, right? If I'm getting a mileage upgrade offer where I can, use my miles to upgrade from economy and business class, right? That can happen at different points in time. Ideally, it comes at that point in time where I'm most open to fall for that offer. For me, that would be most likely shortly before the flight when I'm already anticipating long wait lines. I mean, imagine, the cramped economy class seat on a full plane on a 10-hour flight. That is maybe where I'm in that situation would be most willing to use my miles and maybe even more miles for the upgrade than if I get that offer, 6 weeks before when I'm not even have my mind set on the travel that I'm going to take. Now, we understand revenue management constraints in that in that context, yield expectation or other influencing factors. But this is when then the third point comes in, and I'm always careful bringing that into the play, and I don't want it to be misunderstood as a buzzword, but artificial intelligence, machine learning are becoming a real proliferant aspect of our daily lives. And I'm not speaking about the Taylor Swift deepfakes here, but they become elements that will play a fundamental role on how our offering as a tech company and the offerings of our customers will be shaped in the future. We'll be able to employ these technologies in our products, and they will come up with better and more appropriate offers for our customer bases. Now, the use cases here may be manifold. One of our principles, however, here at IBS is that we need to make sure that whatever the use case is that the application is sound, is safe, particularly when it comes in connection with the protection of private information, data privacy legislation, right? And in that context, we want to and we need to make sure that despite so many ideas out there, we focus on those that bring most value to our customers. Now, where do we see such promising use cases that are evolving around the enhanced, revolving around the loyalty programs? One, I see them in an enhanced form of loyalty offer and promotion management. I see it in a form of improved customer interaction where AI and ML can help us really provide curated information to the agents at a service center or at the airport, looking into the magnitude of information that a loyalty program has and building that into a manageable piece of information to be used in a customer interaction. Just a few examples of where we believe the future will be.
Thank you, Marcus. You have already shared some examples of the transformative potential of technology on the customer experience. Could you also share with us some example of successful lifestyle-centric loyalty programs within the industry, and which are the strategic approaches that you believe are particularly effective?
I think there's many out there that have different flavors, focusing on different segments. A few that we know pretty well and where they really make a difference, I think, on the market. We can bring as examples, not as a necessary ranking, but as one where I think a difference is being made. In the aviation space, I think we see that one of the pioneers in that context is Qantas, which has really built an entire ecosystem of segmented propositions that are driving the engagement to their entire member base, right? And if you look at the numbers, you could most likely argue every second Australian is a member of that program, and that has led then or has earned them actually the global top spot in terms of revenue per passenger generated from a loyalty program. You see that the way on building as a multi-segmented proposition really has allowed them at a very high level to be the brand of choice before travel, during travel, and after travel. If you look at some of the parts of that offer, you look at a very broad co-brand portfolio that brings daily interactions onto the forefront in alignment with the brand. There's a well-being program, and there's many others that Qantas has implemented. So I believe that Qantas Frequent Flyer is one example of a successful transformation to a broader lifestyle-focused program. You can also, go on the other side of the Pacific and look at the Americas, where Canada, in my mind, is a program that continuously innovates to build an experience around the core Air Canada brand. So here it's about extending the core brand benefit to the wider member base, where you start with a strong proposition of Air Canada and then take that beyond, taking into also account the changed travelers' behavior. You see the shift of focus to segments that may have not been served before, right? For example, you see concepts like threshold benefits, where interim rewards are being offered to the members between the static tiers that we all know, right? The typical silver, gold, platinum schemes. You see offers or propositions now that go in between. So to keep the customers engaged, to incentivize customers to engage with the brand, just, not with the 1 or 2 flights, but even beyond. Now, when you think about that, right, what does a program need and focus and consider to develop into such a successful proposition? And there again, and I mentioned it before, you need to actually start talking about the big elephant in the room, or when modifying a famous quote, it's the data, stupid. Now, we have been talking about big data a lot, and collection of information today and also in the past was not the big problem. The challenge came when you were tasked to make sense out of this information. That was the true challenge. Today, I believe with the modern technology, we are truly in a position where we can leverage microsegment the data to understand our customers' behavior faster and more accurate. Further, in a world where data privacy and cookie regulations are limiting the ability to collect third-party information, first-party data is actually becoming really, really important. And that will be the essential building block to create and drive loyalty propositions. And in order to get that first party, what better tool do you have than a loyalty program where actually you give something back to the customer, where you can relate to the customer, where you can become ideally a trusted partner to the customer so that they feel confident in sharing that information with you. So building these capabilities to safely collect and utilize the information will also then determine the depth of analysis and engagement that will be possible for a brand. Coming again to a topic we had mentioned before, the next revolution that we see is the technology, the user technology of AI and ML. In order to leverage these big data sets, make sense out of it, and provide more tailored options and offers according to the situational needs and preference of a customer, AI and ML technologies will make the difference. It will really allow us to better combine the aspects of past experiences, the preferences, the current needs, and form an offer to a member that hopefully the member can't deny. And then last but not least, I think it's really building the content around it, building that comprehensive network of partners that extends beyond the typical earn and burn into deeper, more complementary setups where actually, for example, customer recognition can be extended beyond the home brand and help building that desired stickiness. You see some examples already out there in the market, right? Emirates is a good example in their partnership either with Qantas or with Marriott, where you are incentivized to link both programs, the Emirates Skywards program, the Marriott Bonvoy program, and get incentivized for stays or travel on one, being incentivized on the other. Those are strong propositions where actually a brand ecosystem can be built. And I believe there's a lot of potential in there to actually go one step further, build more, and that will become of relevance when the whole aspect of retailing, the retailing vision that the travel brands follow, will also come into reality.
Thank you very much, Markus, for your comprehensive insights that once again reinforce the importance of data offering and engagement as strategic pillars. And now I just link to what you were saying about partnership and asking to Olivier, we have mentioned the importance of partnership multiple times during this webinar. Could you give us an overview of the main challenges and opportunities associated with maintaining a successful partner ecosystem?
Yeah, so Cecilia, partnership challenges for loyalty programs are of different nature. It starts from the very commercial negotiation up to your partner onboarding. So for the commercial part, it is important for a program to offer flexible pricing model to its partner, namely prepaid model, postpaid, but also including volume-based pricing and even supporting partner promotion. Markus also mentioned the importance of linking partner products or even deep linking accounts between the different partners to offer more meaningful and end-to-end experiences to your elite members. For onboarding, the challenges is a bit different. Here, automation is key to reduce time to market and being able to scale your network of partners in your own market, but also beyond your own market and across different industries from hospitality, airline, retail, financial institution. So this is key for you to make sure that you can take the most of your partner at scale. In terms of onboarding, the technical aspects should not be neglected. Indeed, integrating with a diversity of partners, relying on the diversity of systems from legacy system to more modern platform is a complex equation to solve. So you need to rely on technologies that allow you to adapt to the external world, to the external system, to your partner system, and not the other way around to reduce the friction and reduce the time to market. It is also important that your platform operating your program is able to constantly capture all and being able to process all the activities that your member will do when transacting with a different partner of your ecosystem. And it's not only when they transact with their member, but also being able to account, bill, and invoice consistently those activities so that you can financially operate your program. So relying on what we call here at IBS on an immutable ledger is key so that you can track the life of a single point that you have sold to a given partner from the moment the activity is performed by the member to the time the member redeems with your partner, and being able to invoice that in near real time is key for your partner operation and your program profitability. The third aspect to consider, and the challenges that are linked to this aspect, is the resources. We have seen, especially after the pandemic, that resources and skilled resources are scarce. And handling large network partners, it's time consuming, and you need to rely on resources that you need to train and onboard quickly. So here also the technical and technological aspect can help. Having a platform that is usable, having a platform that allow you to increase your productivity, to rely on a smaller team, on more junior teams that you can train and onboard, is also an important aspect to consider when considering the resources. Finally, partnership is an always evolving world. So you need to be able to think about innovation, and not only from a technical standpoint, but also from a people standpoint. You need to rely on a vendor or someone who can understand your business, the industry you're in, but also the other industry, to be able to take your ideas and transform them into actual business opportunities. So these people, the combination of the people and the technology, will make sure that you can unlock the potential of everything that Marcus mentioned earlier, meaning AI ML, meaning more meaningful partnership across more complex ecosystem of brands. So all this is possible and unlocked with the right technology. So how do we execute that in IBS? Well, we rely on an iLoyal platform. iLoyal is our travel loyalty platform that encompasses all the capabilities from program design to customer engagement, integration with the touch points, and operation of your program. And this includes, of course, every aspect of the partner management, from the integration hub to connect with your partner and onboard the partner, manage the different contracts, self-service portal, and integration with the touch point. So the integration hub is everything that allows all the capabilities that allow you to seamlessly onboard the partner and operate the contract that you have with them. The partner self-service portal is a separate product that allows your partners to self-manage a relationship with your brand. And finally, the platform is an open platform allowing you to connect with the different touch point or systems through files, APIs, or events to make sure that you can unlock all the use cases and for your earn and burn opportunities in the different point of sales. So next step will be just moving away from slides and going in the actual system for a demo of those capabilities. So we will start with a demo of the core capabilities of the partner integration hub, and we'll then move to a demo of the partner self-service portal. iLoyal partnership management capabilities are embedded into our admin UI for iLoyal, which is web-based, and alongside with the different modules, you will find all the functions related to partnership management. So you can start by defining all the partners that you have. Some of our customers operate more than 1,000 partners out of the iLoyal platform. You can operate partners in different industries, from airline, hospitality, retail, or financial institution. I will take, for instance, today an example of an airline. So for airlines, you can attach some additional criteria, including the management of some specific processes for alliances. We support Star Alliance, Oneworld, or SkyTeam. And for each partner, you would attach additional contract details. You can manage one to multiple contracts for a given partner. And for each partner, you would have some basic setup, including, for instance, the settlement currencies, date of operation of the given contract, and to which applicable program this partner would apply. Indeed, iLoyal platform can allow you to support an unlimited number of programs. Here, for instance, we have 3 setup: a B2C program classic, a B2B program, and a subscription program. For each contract, you can set up some fees if you want to manage your relationship with your partner in a specific way, including some participation fee, penalty fee, or contract renewal fee, and those fees will be included in your next billing file sent to your partner when applicable. In the program details, this is where you will set up your contractual relationship, including prepaid, postpaid plan, for all kind of currencies between you and your partner. We support contract-based pricing, which is a simple way of operating your contract, but we can also have more complex way to price accrual or redemption through our rule engine. Of course, all the prices guys can support different type of taxes, including VAT. For prepaid or postpaid pricing, we have the capability to go more granular and set up for each currency for some period of time, or including some promos, some specific rates defined in the currency of the system or the partner, or specific for a certain setup. We can also support volume-based pricing discounts that can be directly set up at contract level. So once you have defined your partner in the system, you may, for some of them, include some partner products. So we have capabilities to manage external partner product, which is extremely useful, in particular for financial institution. Like, for instance, in that case, I will take a classic example of a bank, and you can define several type of co-branded credit cards that can be attached to your members when those members are enrolled and validated by the issuing institution for those products. It is extremely important when you manage partnership and you scale your partner network to be flexible and rely on flexible technology to support adapting to a complex ecosystem and to your partner ecosystem. So this is why in iLoyal we manage a concept of dynamic attributes. Namely, you can self-extend all the information, all the data models that we provide by default in the platform, including, for instance, accrual dynamic attributes. So when you are engaging with an integration with another airline, for instance, you are able to self-declare any attributes that you want to decode from the accrual file and define that so that platform process those attributes respectively. And the same for every vertical, every industry. You could have different attributes coming from your partners, and upon definition, those attributes will be immediately recognized in the file processing or in the API processing, giving you the peace of mind that you can adapt to your partner, reducing the time to market when you engage with them for a partnership agreement. I mentioned that we can integrate through batch file or API, so you can again self-declare all the file formats that you want to manage with them. So it can be as simple as accrual, including NBAC. So for instance, if I here access my messages definition, I can manage air accrual, non-air accrual. It could be for some specific processes, for some alliances, and so on and so forth. So for each file format, again, self-declared by your program administrator, you can adapt and define the file format that you expect to receive from your partner, and the platform will process the information accordingly, store it, and this information will become available in the rule engine so that you can define any desirable business outcome with this attribute or with this information. Finally, it is extremely important to rely on strong billing mechanism. So in iLoyal, we have the capability to support accounting and billing for accrual and transaction with partner. So every activity of a given member will generate the necessary transaction. Could be to accrue points, bonus points, or some other currencies. And you can define how those currency will be billed either to your partners or to your internal cost centers. So for instance, if we now demo some billing details, so this is for instance for accrual transaction. If I use the same example of the airline that I used previously, I can access and list all the billing entries. I can access here all the information of the entries that the system consolidated and ready to be sent to the ERP system for invoicing. And in one click, I can get access to all the details of every single billing entries. So iLoyal really work as a bank, tracing all the information from one activity when it's accrued to the redemption, and allowing you to report accordingly to your internal entities and also to your partner for proper billing and invoicing. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Now the second demo is about our partner portal, which is a portal that your partners can use to self-administer the relationship with your brand. So it's a widgetized UI where you can decide to add or remove some widgets which represent and summarize the information that you store on your portal, for instance, including the status of the different files that you have been exchanging with the brand. We can also, of course, store all the information related to your profile as a partner, including the different contracts that you have in place with the brand, and also give you access to the member profiles that were enrolled through your partnership with the brand. You can also service those members and update the details on the behalf of the member to simplify again the work with the brand. You can, when you miss, request some missing points for different type of currencies that were set up with the program, and also get access to the different activities, including the file exchanged and the status of those files. And you can even resubmit some files when some files were not properly processed. Finally, you have the opportunity as a partner to self-administrate the different users that have access to this UI on a role-based privileges, giving you all the flexibility to administrate this small application that is made for you, the partners. That's it for the second demo. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivier, so much. Thank you, Marcus, for this informative session. And we have come to the Q&A portion of the webinar. If you have a question, please click on the chat icon on the top right of your window, type in your question and click on send. We will be taking your question one by one. And actually, we already have a couple of queries. Marcus, I will ask this one for you. So regarding technology, what key trend demands our attention in terms of how it could impact our loyalty programs?
Okay, I think I'll be repeating myself, and I'll take that risk. But from a technology point of view, you cannot ignore AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, as a trend And I think it's not a trend anymore. It's really a reality that will impact us as a tech provider as well as the programs. And I think there's a big difference compared to earlier tech hypes that we were following. Here, I think the technology is readily available. There's use cases there, which compared to other tech trends is refreshing. Where we saw trends like distributed ledger technology, where actually the technology was searching for the right use case. Here, I think it's the opposite, and we see that the availability of the tech, the easy access to the tech, can really make the impact immediate. The challenge here is how to tame the tiger. And that will be the main task of us as a tech provider, to tame the tiger in such a way that it provides that benefit in the right fashion, as I had mentioned before. From a program perspective, if you look at trends more from the business side, I think the trend that I would see is that we are breaking down the strictly structured programs into more dynamic and segment-specific offerings. We see fluid incentive schemes offering more choice to the customers. We are seeing a more translucent way of structuring the programs, and I think that will continue, taking account the shift of the traveler segments, the shift of the customers that we see, and that will continue.
Thank you, Marcus. And Olivier, I have a question also for you. Partner onboarding is a big challenge. Could you provide insight into how we can streamline these processes for a smoother partner collaboration?
Yeah, so what I observed by discussing with different airlines, cruise company, hospitality groups around the world is the main challenges in partner onboarding right now, most of the time, and we have, Marcus said rightly, is that technology should support the business, and right now I see a lot of friction from a technology standpoint, meaning with legacy system, it takes most often time to code when a new partner needs to be onboarded, and it slows down the time to market. So what I see a way to solve that is to invest. So again, we know that right now in this market with high load factors, loyalty is more difficult to consider, but this is why it's so important to invest now, to prepare for the time when loyalty will become extremely relevant. And when I say invest, is invest in the right technology that can allow you to remove that friction, invest in the technologies that can help you adapt, a platform that can help you adapt to your partner ecosystem, from legacy systems to more modern a platform that can help you innovate on new business idea. We mentioned already partner products, deep linking accounts between ecosystems that goes way beyond one industries. Now we have airlines partnering with hospitality groups, financial institution, more credit cards than ever. So I see the key aspect is it's the time to invest. You need to do that with the right vendors that can not only have the right technology, but also understand your business, and that can support your innovation in the future.
Thank you again, Marcus, and thank you again, Olivier. And with that, we will conclude today's webinar. For anyone whose questions were not answered, we will reach out to you as soon as possible. And a big thank you again, Marcus and Olivier, as well to all of our participants. We hope you found this webinar informative and valuable. There will be a short feedback survey after we end this session. You can also respond to the survey via the link in the follow-up email that we will be sending out. So please do complete the survey, as your insight will help shape our future webinars. You will also get in the link of the recording of the session via email within 24 hours. So feel free to share it with your colleagues who may find it valuable. And on behalf of IDS Software, thank you once again for joining us today. Be on the lookout for a future invitation on other loyalty-related webinars. We hope to see you again soon, and we hope you have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.